I delivered, well, I was a part of the team that delivered WestConnex 2A and 2B, which was a $3.5 billion commitment on behalf of the New South Wales State Government. I also worked on WestConnex, NorthConnex. I've done a lot of work for schools infrastructure. So I delivered a $550 million school. My name's Hussain. I'm a infrastructure delivery director. I've been in this. I've been doing this job for 22 and a half years.
Hello everyone, welcome to Podcast Australia with a new episode and with our new professionals in our studio today, and we're going to talk with Hussain here. Hello Hussain, how are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going good, thanks sister. Right, thanks for having me on the podcast today.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for joining us. And today we're going to have information from him, and before wasting any more time, we can start with Hussain. So Hussain, can you introduce yourself and tell us what do you do in the infrastructure delivery space at the moment?
Yeah, sure. My name's Hussain. I'm a infrastructure delivery director. I've been in this. I've been doing this job for 22 and a half years. I also head up a civil works company as well, which I've been leading for the last 4 years. So yeah, I've always been in the delivery space. So and I've started basically my construction career right at the bottom and worked my way right up the top.
Yeah, oh great, that's good to know. And how did you first get into construction infrastructure industry? What makes you, if you can give us some of the pathway from your high school, or it's your childhood interest, or you inspire someone in that area?
Always wanted to build stuff when I was growing up. Always looked at buildings and said, I want to build that building. The first one that I saw was a hospital in Canberra. I said, I would love to build something like that. So when I came out of university, I did a construction project management degree. And I also did a major in law. I wanted to be a lawyer at the time, so I studied quite hard to do that, but law wasn't for me. I thought I would rather instruct the lawyers than than get directions from them. So I basically started as a contracts administrator. I used to work for a company called Leighton's. So yeah, they were probably a tier 2 builder at the time. So contracts administrator basically looks at contracts, construction contracts, claims. They also look at ordering material, etc. And that's where I started my construction career.
Great.
And then I've just worked my way up slowly from a contractor all the way up to being a principal.
Great, and I can see the leadership skills in you from your conversations as well.
Thank you, sister.
So this is really great. And what are some of the biggest projects you have worked on so far?
I delivered. Well, I was a part of the team that delivered WestConnex 2A and 2B, which was a $3.5 billion commitment.
Congratulations.
On behalf of the New South Wales State Government. I also worked on WestConnex, NorthConnex. I've done a lot of work for schools infrastructure. So I delivered a $550 million school from phase 0 to phase 9. So phase 0 being from inception, sketch plans, all the way to delivery and handover. And in our civil business, we deliver projects anywhere from $30 million to $50 million.
Great, that's a quite huge project you've been working on, and it sounds quite intense as well for the working lifestyle as well, isn't it?
It's a lot of work. I think because I've been in the industry a long time, I don't work that many hours, right? It's more about leadership. It's all about people for me. And it's all about working with our delivery partners to get the best results for our clients. And I think that.
So I just need to know, for people who don't understand infrastructure delivery as such, what actually happens behind the scenes? As I already said, it sounds intense to me, but what do you think about it?
So there's two parts to delivery. There's the planning side. So people who are usually in development. They develop plans or sketch plans or concept plans. They take it through a feasibility, and then they will hand it over to someone like me. So the plan's already done, right? They're probably at 50% when they come to me. And then what we do is there's two contracts that we run in the industry. There's D&C, typically design and construct, where we would take it out to market to a contractor, right? The contractor would take it from 50% design to 100% design. And then they would they'll deliver the project, and we're there as the delivery oversight to deliver that. So we work with various stakeholders, council, schools. Would work with the local communities. Our stakeholders like our project managers, our architects, our engineers. It's a pretty big role. There's a big team behind us. But yeah, usually we take it from phase 4 to phase 9.
Okay, so it works in a phases where you from 1 to 3 and 4.
Correct.
And what are the biggest challenges you face on your projects, budget, timeline, weather, people, or regulations?
Challenges for us is cash flow, right? So more money coming in the door and money coming back in. and program, right? Weather does, the main thing for us is to make sure that we're at a stage where we're dealing with weather. Weather is a risk, but it's more about the macroeconomic challenges that we're having, especially what's happening overseas at the moment, right? Is driving up costs. There's a lot of uncertainty, right? Fuel security is also a big issue for us in the industry. And then also dealing with rise and fall. So contractually, how do we do that, and how do we mitigate in terms of our clients? But those are challenges that we constantly monitor, but that's just one of the challenges of delivery.
All right, great. And look, this platform we actually providing to a lot of our youth as well to choose the right profession and all these things. So like, what skills do you think are most important for someone who is planning to entering in this industry today?
Look, I think the main thing for us is, the main thing for me is relationships, right? I really value my people. And I call them my colleagues. Even my consultants are my colleagues. I don't see the builder as being like they're my client. The builder is my colleague, right? It's all about relationships, because if you have the right team, you can deliver any project. That's what I've always seen. If people are motivated to come to work, they always just want to be there. They want to do the best job, right? And if we're part of the same team, that's what I think is the best way to deliver projects. There's always, when you see projects that fall, it's usually one person that's the cause of that. But if you can eliminate that and have the best people around you, always be successful.
Yes, true. And as you said, you have a 22 nearly years experience in this industry. So how much has technology changed construction over the last 10 years?
It's changed a lot. We've moved to modern methods of what they call modern methods of construction, right? So prefab, BIM modeling, right? That's definitely changing. It's just the way that trades are using their technology. Before, everything's basically being automated, right?
True.
So the physical labor side of it is slowly starting to decrease. We're not seeing that much, over the last.
Need people,
It's still you need a supervisor, right? So an end user. But in terms of how they're doing it and how quickly they're getting it up, right? That's definitely changing.
True. And when we talk about, you said, as we discuss about automation systems here, my next question will be with you, Hussain, like, are AI drones or BIM or automation changing the way infrastructure projects are delivered?
Well, they're definitely changing in terms of how we report them, right? So a drone can provide a snapshot. It can give us, hydrographic surveys. It can give us very specific information that we typically wouldn't be able to see before. And AI is definitely changing in terms of how we communicate, right? AI is able to give us graphs, it's able to give us presentations. It's always also able to give us complex modeling in terms of scenario modeling, in terms of what a construction project would look like in the next, 2, 3 or 4 years, right? So life cycle modeling has been definitely a big change in AI.
Yeah, true. And what is the biggest mistake people make when they first join the construction industry?
They don't give it time, right? It takes time. I mean, I was a CA for a good part of 5 years, right? Then I became a senior CA, right? A lot of people they want to jump because they chase dollars. And I don't think that's the right approach. You've got to give it time to learn the industry. I sat around, basically it was grit and loyalty for me. That's what my father taught me, and that's what I adopted. A lot of people are just very easy to jump to money, right? And I've always chased the experience. So that's what I would recommend for anyone who's new to the industry. Is that
Patience.
give it time. Give it time. Correct.
True. And how important is communication and leadership when managing large teams and projects? Because our youth maybe don't have that much level of confidence as yet because they're new into the industry. So how they can work on those skills as well?
Look, I just think you just need to be genuine, right? Be a good person, right? Develop a code of of loyalty amongst your peers. Treat them with respect, right? Don't make decisions independently. I always come around my people in terms of what you think. Hey, mate, what do you think of this? What's your opinion on this, right? Work together to come to a conclusion, right? That's how you get the best from people.
True. And for young people in Australia thinking about construction careers, what you recommend it and why?
Look, I think for me, I don't think that I could provide, where people should go. But for me, it's always been the delivery environment. I love the being fast-paced. I love the adrenaline rush. I love, the problems and challenges that we experience on site. And just all the issues. I think a lot of industries don't provide that. But delivery has definitely provided a challenge for me. And every day is different. So for me, I think, delivery is where, I see myself.
Yeah.
And anyone who's looking for a challenge, I think delivery is where it needs to be.
No, not a promise. Yeah, thank you. And how is work-life balance in this industry? Is it stressful for people to think, or you can manage with because a lot of immigrants, if we talk about here in that area, are moving to Australia with different skills they have in delivery teams and construction and all that area. You think they can manage easily with the family or with the young children and the wife and all this scenario as well? How they should expect this area as well?
Look, for delivery, it's a lot of stress, right? Because there's a lot of things that are at stake.
Yeah.
You've got to deliver your timelines. You got to hit your milestones. Your bonuses are tied to your milestones.
Yes.
There's a lot of work, and when the going gets tough, yes, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
So I think someone who's resilient and can deal with pressure.
Yes.
If you can't deal with pressure, they'll let you up, right? This is how it is. Some people they don't survive, right?
Yeah.
Because there's too many competing priorities.
Yes.
Especially with New South Wales, you've got the Security of Payment Act.
Yes.
You have to pay, right? You have to pay within 7 days, right?
Okay.
You have to get a payment schedule out within that 7 days, otherwise you're up for massive fines.
Yes.
People can't deal with that, right? People can't deal with the pressure.
Yes.
And if you can't deal with pressure, well then, look, that's fine as well. There's other jobs, but it's not delivery.
Not delivery, But is there any motivational speech you can give it to the new migrants who moving to Australia or new youth who is just coming in? I know there's a stress in there, but how to cope up with that then?
Look, I would just go through the notions of understanding the industry, right? Because as you become strong, as you become more knowledgeable, and you've gone through, you've been in the trenches with certain people, you develop a degree of trust and loyalty. And I think also when you know the job, right? Knowing the job is absolutely critical.
Yes.
When you know the job, well, then you can execute. But when you don't know the job, you can't execute.
True, makes sense. So make sure whatever industry you're choosing in your life, it's not just the one Hussein is working, but make sure whatever industry you're choosing in your life, you need to have a good research done, good education, and make sure you're passionate about it. So when you're passionate, you're ready to deal with challenges and stress. And if we talk about here for the salary ranges, Hussein, what is the salary range for a junior and senior person in this job industry? They should expect to start someone with, because your salary give them another push to the motivation level as well.
Look, I think we're starting graduates around 45 to 50, right?
Okay.
If they score the marks, sometimes they push to 60 grand.
Okay.
Right? But look, that's just the starting figure, right? The industry pays very, very well, right? At the top, it pays more than medical, right? But the thing is, you've got to be in it, right? You've got to have the skin in the game.
Yes.
And you can accelerate very quickly.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's all for me, it's always been about giving it time.
All right, and it's not last question, but it's not least. I just need to ask you, Hussein, if you could give one piece of advice to our youth and younger people and starting a career, what would it could be?
Just resilience, right? Just give it time, right? Just give it time. Don't worry about what others are doing, right? If your colleagues, let's say you started on 60 and someone's getting 75, but you're in a good place and you think you're learning, stay there. Chase experience. Because that $60,000 will be $600,000 one day, right?
One day,
But you've got to give it time, and you've got to give it, and loyalty is very important, especially the loyalty that you work around your people. Because that manager today might be a project director, but then he'll be a group general manager one day. They'll ring you up and say, hey, we used to work together, come on this project with me, right?
Great.
He's not going to pay you 60, he's going to pay you a lot more, right?
True.
So that's how you get ahead in this industry. It's all about the contacts and who you know.
Not a problem. Thank you so much, Hussein.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate your time today, and thank you so much all our audiences who are liking our channel, subscribing our channel. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, Podcast Australia, and we will be coming back shortly with another professional in another industry and field in Australia, and we'll get you more insights of it. But if you have any other questions from us, or if you wanted to know anything from Hussein, he will be really happy to let us know in your comment section. Any questions are welcome here, and please let us know if you have any other opinion, suggestion. Thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.